Welcome, my name is Raul and this is the Resistance Framework, the channel dedicated to investing in disruptive technologies to hedge against the ways that the corporate elites, big banks, and governments all over the world are trying to screw us all over on a daily basis. Give this video an early like to help push this content out to more people. For a while now, the world has been experiencing a digital gold rush. Everybody is trying to get in on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And I get the sense that most of the people entering this market for the first time have no idea of the risks, have no idea of what it is they're exactly buying, and why they should be buying it, and why they should not be buying it. A quick note, I am not a financial advisor, so I cannot give you financial advice. This video is merely my opinion on Bitcoin and my attempt to give everybody a fair warning so they can at least have some sense of what they're getting into. Bitcoin is a digital currency where every transaction is stored in a public list or public ledger called the blockchain. The value of Bitcoin is solely driven by supply and demand economics. Unlike fiat currency, like dollars and euros, which can be printed to infinity out of thin air, Bitcoin's total maximum supply is capped at 21 million. This means that there will never exist more than 21 million Bitcoin. This makes Bitcoin a scarce asset. It's important to know that not all cryptocurrencies have the same scarcity. Where the total maximum supply of Bitcoin is capped at 21 million, other cryptocurrencies have totally different total maximum supplies, which might be higher than 21 million. For instance, Ethereum technically has no total maximum supply. Instead, it uses a form of inflation within its ecosystem. Very small inflation, but inflation nonetheless. And that's okay because different cryptocurrencies serve different purposes. Where Bitcoin primarily serves the purpose as a store of value, Ethereum primarily serves as a technology platform on which to build applications. This video is titled The Binary Bet. That means 1 or 0. Success or failure. Boom or bust. There is no in between. That pretty much sums up how I view Bitcoin. In the long term, Bitcoin is either going to be worth an insane amount of money or it's going to be worth nothing. I'm not alone in this opinion. Better minds think the same, like Chamath Palihapitiya, one of the first senior executives at Facebook, and nowadays all-out genius billionaire investor. Let's hear what he had to say about it in an interview he did on the Pomp podcast in April 2020.
I've always thought of Bitcoin as a very binary investment, whether it goes from 80 to 8,000 to 6,000 to 3,000 to 13,000, it doesn't matter. This is either zero or it's millions. It will create a quasi gold standard. It'll create an index, except instead of having to own gold, where gold is owned by central banks, it is an instrument that has value that's determined by and between its participants, and it's owned by everybody.
Before we look out at that long-term horizon where it can go to millions or zero, let's get into some of the more short-term risks of buying Bitcoin, especially at this point in time. We need to understand that the market for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general is cyclical. It has a market cycle. So you have the accumulation phase where people accumulate cryptocurrency, then you have a crypto boom and a subsequent bust where the market crashes. Then the market resets and then you go back into an accumulation phase. The same happened in 2017-2018, where in 2017 we had the accumulation phase and the big boom up towards the end of 2017, and in the beginning of 2018 the markets came crashing down. In 2018 the peak was at roughly $19,000. Currently Bitcoin has already passed $40,000 and it retraced back down. But notice the similarity between the pattern of the peak in 2018 and where we are now. The peak of 2018 is on the left and the peak where we are now is on the right. Now, before you go thinking all doom and gloom, the point is nobody knows where we are in this cycle. Even though the pattern seems similar, it is entirely possible that the drop we recently had was just a small blip and that we have a long way to go up. Because it is entirely possible we are merely here in the cycle and that we have still a long way up to go. Both scenarios are possible. This short term risk, everybody has to weigh for themselves. Now, enough about the short term risk of buying Bitcoin. Let's talk about the long term risk of not buying Bitcoin. So, in my opinion, buying Bitcoin for the short term gains is a risky bet just because we never know where we are in the cycle. However, if you view Bitcoin as an insurance policy, as an insurance against system collapse, as an insurance against failing monetary policy all over the world, well, then you're setting yourself up for success. That's how I view Bitcoin, as an insurance against system collapse. When you buy insurance, you're not looking to get rich off it. You just buy the insurance and you hope and pray to God that you never need it. So, we do not want our insurance policy, Bitcoin, to come into play. However, it's nice to have an insurance policy just in case. Let's see what Chamath Palihapitiya had to say about it, also in that same interview of the Pomp podcast in April 2020.
And then you need to have it slowly look like the traditional infrastructure could really implode. So again, the way we avoid it is by pivoting to a resilient economy or debasement. The path dependence for Bitcoin is if it looks like path 2 is likely, it will really emerge as a flight to safety. And over the next 10 years, where this trajectory is going to take shape, and it is a 10-year trajectory, you'll have a lot of time to vector into it to protect yourself and to hedge yourself.
Well, there you have it. Bitcoin as an insurance policy. If after all this you weighed the risk and you feel like purchasing an insurance policy named Bitcoin, then you'll be needing a good exchange to buy your crypto on. I recommend Binance if you're living in the US and Bitfavo if you're living in Europe. I'll leave the links in the description below. Using the promotional Bitfavo link in the description below means zero transaction costs over the first 1,000 euros of crypto you buy or over the first 2 weeks, whichever comes first. For full disclosure, I would like to mention that I do receive a small kickback fee for both of these links. However, this does help support the channel and it helps me make these videos full time. Also, in the case of Bitfavo, it is especially worth it since you will be saving up to 1,000 euro worth of transaction costs. Join the resistance. Press the like and subscribe button, press the notification bell to join me in future videos where I will be sharing my own personal crypto investment strategy. I will be going over buying crypto, storing crypto securely because leaving all your crypto on exchanges is not safe. Also, I will be going over crypto privacy, how to make sure that the government isn't all up in your business regarding your crypto investments. And lastly, I will also be going over investing in the crypto market indirectly by investing into tools and technology that provide infrastructure for the booming crypto market.